Hey everyone, so I just wanted to do a quick update video. I previously mentioned that I was planning to set up my own charity called FND Fighters. I'm currently going through the application phase at the moment. I think it's around a 5 to 6 month wait for new applications to be approved by the commission, so it's quite a lengthy process. But yeah, FND Fighters, hopefully as soon as possible I'll be able to help as many people as I can. Obviously that's the goal of any charity, but I'm going to be putting all of my time and effort into the charity. I'm self-employed, I have my own business, but I think I'm gonna put all my equity from my business into the charity, and I think that's what I want to dedicate my time towards, mainly because I see how many people are suffering and not getting their voices heard, and I'm not trying to step on the toes of other charities like FND Hope, FND Action, FND Dimensions. Just off the top of my head, if I've missed yours out, I do apologise, but I appreciate the work that all of them do. As I said, FND Hope are going to Parliament in October, which is remarkable, and on behalf of everyone suffering with FND, thank you so much for all the work that you've put in to make that achievable. It's absolutely brilliant, and if I can have anywhere near as much effect as that, then that would be brilliant. If anything, I want to work alongside and congruently with all of the charities, which I think is, I think it's sad to think that charities compete with one another. I know the bigger charities are competing for funding, they're competing for, raising money, but we're a small community in some senses, and we all need to support each other and we all need to help each other, because at the end of the day, our end goal is all the same. We want to defeat the notion that FND is just a psychological illness. The premise of my charity is going to be solely eradicating the functional from neurological disorder. I'm not saying that it should just be called neurological disorder, but the F in FND, functional, is what all health professionals latch onto. That's what they're going to say. You don't have any structural defect. It's all psychological. You've got a functional issue. You've got to retrain your brain, and I do find it quite patronising from health professionals who take that view. And I know that it's made a lot of people lose faith in the NHS, which is sad. And I've definitely been in this situation, but many people, when they experience a new symptom, and most symptoms are pretty severe, they're horrible, but they don't want to go to their GP or they don't want to go to hospital because they're afraid of just being told it's just your FND, that you've got nothing to worry about. Now, I definitely do empathise with that. I find it myself a little bit embarrassing constantly going to my GP and constantly going to A&E, because one, they don't do anything for me. Two, they're just going to tell me it's FND or you've got this psychological problem that you need to try and deal with. And yeah, I just want to do everything that I can, because I know how horrible that is, and I just want to do everything I can to stop people from feeling like that in the future. I should say that I really do not want to discredit the work of many wonderful professionals within the NHS who are championing the cause that all of us are trying for FND, that it is a real illness. Professor Mark Edwards, Professor John Stone, Dr. Hussein, to name a few, and anyone else who's doing their utmost to help support their patients with FND and isn't turning them away and just telling them to get on with it. It's a psychological illness, you'll figure it out kind of thing, which so many people are, which is sad. But at the same time, there are so many wonderful professionals in the NHS who, like I said, are doing their utmost to help with the cause. I said it before, but if you are suffering from neurological symptoms and you've had all these tests, you've had your MRIs, you've had lumbar puncture, and it's all coming back negative, get into the group called Functional Neurological Disorder on Facebook. It's run by Kez and Anne, a guy called Martin on there. I think he's an admin. He does some wonderful live videos where he's got such a joyful outlook on FND and symptoms that it makes you not feel anywhere near as bad about what you're going through. And like I said, it's nice to have someone with you're looking for a mutual cause. and they've helped me no end. I'm really grateful to them. A guy that I met on there, not only is he a Liverpool fan like me, but he's going through this similar with FND. Dave Tyra, I'm going to put his YouTube in the description of this video. He's going through Reiki and hypnotherapy. So if you're thinking, I wonder what those kind of treatments could do for me, you need to go and subscribe to Dave's channel. I'm finding it really interesting, really intriguing to look at someone else's perspective on how Reiki and hypnotherapy are helping or perhaps not helping him. It's extremely helpful before making the decision whether it's something that you want to pursue in your treatment plan. And another lovely lady called Tanya from Canada, I'm going to put her link in the description as well. She's seeing an FND specialist in Canada. So if there are some questions that you're not getting answered from your neurologist, I know Tanya's more than happy to put those questions forward to her FND specialist for you guys. So, she's doing some really good content, really open, really honest content, and hopefully it will inspire a lot of people to start talking about their condition as well. Symptoms wise, I'm doing a lot better. I was bedridden for about just over a month, maybe 5 weeks. I had this horrific feeling, like I said, in the side of my head, the tingling in the back of my head. I wear this hat because I get like tightness across my chest, and the tightness from the hat on my head kind of like tricks my brain in a sense to distract it from the tightness in my chest, which is extremely uncomfortable at times. But I'm on 50 milligrams of amitriptyline, which seems to be helping. I'm not anywhere near back to, I'll probably say I'm about 60-70% of my capabilities as such. But the last 2 or 3 weeks I've been about 10% because I can't even get out of bed. So that's positive, and I think, as I've started to accept it more and more, my mindset shifted from being down and depressed about it to wanting to fight it head on. I think that's helped no end. I did pick up this book, Overcoming Functional Neurological Symptoms, a 5 areas approach, and this has got cognitive behavioral therapy workbooks. It's written by experts, proven to work apparently. I'm not sure that should be on the front of it. It's a bit misleading in some senses, but I guess it's helped some people. I'm going to do videos on some of the CPT techniques for my charity website. I'm going to put them on YouTube obviously as well, because I think this is about £30. I think I paid for it, really expensive actually. I've had mixed reviews about it. Some people found it helpful, some people perhaps would have found it more beneficial if they worked through it with a CBT professional. Currently on a waiting list of 6 to 8 weeks to see one, so obviously that's difficult. But if you're going through CBT, maybe recommend that the person conducting it picks up this book. Like I say, £30 on Amazon. You might be able to get it cheaper on eBay or something, because like I said, it's really expensive. But I found this quite interesting. It says, this is in the introduction, I've only read about not much, 20 pages or so. I'm going to start going through it properly, and then I can give you guys some feedback on it. But it says, research in 4 major neurological centers suggests that about 1 in 3 people attending neurology outpatient clinics have this diagnosis of FND, which I was a bit bemused by it, because no one's ever heard of FND. So yeah, that's definitely interesting. I'm seeing a neurologist tomorrow to get a second opinion. So hopefully they'll be a bit more empathetic towards the view of FND than my actual neurologist at Bedford Hospital was. She just said it was merely a psychological illness, but I'm not denying that, some aspects of it are psychological. There's no denying that, and I'm going to do a video very shortly on what I actually think of FND, which is obviously just merely an opinion-based thing. And when I do put the video out, I'd love people to contest my view, because no one really knows, but it's so interesting to hear other people's opinions on it. So I'm going to do that video, but I'll do a follow-up from my neurology appointment tomorrow as well. But yeah, I'm not doing too bad. The heat's getting me down. To be fair, I'm not sure if it's this heat wave is 35 degrees or something like that, or just the fact, Boris Johnson was appointed Prime Minister yesterday. So yeah, I think it's probably a mixture of the heat and the Boris Johnson tenure in 10 Downing Street. So like I said, I'll be doing a video. I've been looking at a lot of research papers on FND recently. I'm going to do a video going through some of those. Many people do believe that they've found evidence through functional MRI scans that there is a small structural defect. So I'm looking forward to getting into that in my next video. But like I say, charities in the process of being started. I need your guys' help in terms of content that you want to see. Let me know. Contact me via email. Contact me by Facebook. If you're just going through it and you're looking for someone with common ground, please do. Don't ever feel ashamed to reach out to me. If you need someone to talk to, I would love to. I'd love to help in any way that I can. And like I said, the Facebook groups are extremely supportive as well. Get yourself in there. People will do anything they can to help you in that group, as I found out no end. So yeah, I'll do a follow-up from my neurologist appointment tomorrow, and I'm going to be putting a video up about my beliefs around FND. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you soon.